Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India. Mahabharata 15. As you may remember, Amba saw the garland of lotuses on the pillar and popped it onto her own head. Well, when the king heard of this, he came running, overcome with fear and consternation that she had dared to do such a thing. Amba smiled serenely at her father and said, "Be not so amazed, father. I have been born as your child for the sole purpose of wearing this garland. You can live in peace and leave the rest to me." She was called Shikandi. Her education was given to her by Drona, who, like the rest of the world, thought she was a man. Years passed. By the kindness of a yaksha, she had become a man. She grew up in the house of Drupada, with her hatred for Bhishma burning her like a torch in her heart. Chapter 7. Satyavati and Bhishma. The marriage of Vichitravirya and the two princesses, Ambika and Ambalika, was duly performed. The wives considered themselves to be immensely fortunate in having such a handsome, sweet-natured man for their lord. They lived a very happy life, but not for long. With Bhishma to attend to the affairs of state, the carefree prince spent all the time in the company of his lovely wives. But fate struck again. Young Vichitravirya was found to suffer from the dreadful disease, consumption. Not all the devotion of his people nor the skill of the best physicians could save him from an early death. Satyavati was stunned by the calamity that had befallen her. The loss of both her sons was too terrible. But what hurt her more was the thought that the Kuru house did not have an heir. This was the fact that broke her heart. She spent hours together trying to think of a way to rekindle the flame that had been extinguished. She summoned Bhishma to her presence. She said, "Look at me, my son. I have now no hope of happiness. I lost my beloved lord. He was gathered to his forefathers. I could bear that since he had reached an old age, and he followed the rule that old men must die. Chidrangada was killed. Before I could reconcile myself to the loss that nearly killed me, I find Vichitravirya is dead. The only hope of the Kuru house has been destroyed in the flower of youth. I'm desperate. The line must be continued. I have decided on the course of action. I know the way to continue the line of the Kurus. With you rests the task of making the Kuru line live again." Bhishma was surprised. He said, "Mother, how can I, a confirmed bachelor, continue the line?" Satyavati said, "My son Vichitravirya died without leaving a son. His two wives whom you brought for him are still young, with their heart's desires unfulfilled. The only dharma evident to me is this: you must take them and make them mothers of the future scions of the house of Kuru. You must do this for the reason that the lineage must continue. This rule was followed by many of your ancestors. This is the only way. You must take the wives of your brother, and your sons will then be the true descendants of Kuru. It is your solemn duty to do this." Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. I hope to see you again.